I just purchased a new set of Ortlieb panniers and a handlebar bag for my bicycle, my touring bicycle, and I thought I would show you the difference between my old panniers and my new panniers. The red ones are my old ones. I've had these for almost 7 years, and you can kind of tell because they're a little beat up, a little weathered. The color has started to fade. They're much dirtier, but to be completely honest, nothing is wrong with these panniers or the handlebar bag. Nothing is wrong with them. They are a little beat up, but they are in perfect working order. Why then did I get new panniers? Well, the only real reason is I wanted a new look for my bicycle. I've had these red panniers on my bike for 7 years. I've taken thousands of photos with them on my bike, and I just wanted a completely new look. So I went from red to blue. And that's really the only reason. There is nothing wrong with the panniers. And what you might notice by looking at these sets of panniers is they are very, very similar. And that's because I like these old panniers so much that I decided to get the exact same kind, just in a different color. Of course, 7 years has passed, and the design of these bags has changed a little bit over that time. So I wanted to show you some of the differences between the old Ortlieb. These are Biker-Packer Plus Panniers. This is the Sport-Packer Plus Pannier, and this is the Ultimate 6 Ortlieb handlebar bag. So, and same here. This is the Biker-Packer Plus Pannier, which goes on the rear of your bicycle. This is the Sport-Packer Plus, which goes on the front. This is the Ultimate 6 handlebar bag. So what's the difference between these various panniers? Let's start with the handlebar bags, since they're closest here. As you can see, they're very, very similar. They feature the same like bucket style lid on the top. There are 2 small mesh pockets on the side that you can use to store small items in. So same here, nothing has changed there. There's a reflector on the front, reflector here, Ortlieb logo, almost exactly the same design. The mount on the back has changed a little bit actually. This one you used to just slide right down into the mount that is on your handlebar bags. This one's a little different. You kind of put it on the handlebar bag and then push it back a little bit, and then it clicks into place. So you slide it down and then push it back. It's a little different, but I think that this design, while it is a little bit harder to get it into the mount on your handlebar bags, it's a better design overall because it can support more weight. There's also a little tab here to help you get the lid open, which is not on this one. And the best part of the new handlebar bag design, in my opinion, is the fact that they've gone from buttons over here, which you had to use, you had to constantly like clip and unclip these buttons every time you wanted to get into the bag. Now there are magnets, so you can really get this open much easier than with the old bag. And on the inside it's exactly the same. There's a small pocket here, zippered pocket. I usually store like my wallet or spare change in there. There's a little keychain clip, and otherwise it's just a big empty bucket. There's also a divider that comes with the handlebar bag, so you can put various items in the bag and not get them lost. So that's what you see, the divider over here. I don't have one in my old handlebar bag, but otherwise it's exactly the same. And the best part, like I said, is the fact that now this handlebar bag closes just like that. It's just boom. Whereas this one, you would have to close it and then find the button over there, find the button over here, and now it's closed, you see? So this one, the new one, it's really much easier. Just opens up and then closes. Boom. So I think overall, this is a good improvement. There's really nothing else I probably would have changed. You'll also note, however, that there's buttons at the top for a map case. This is for the old style map case that Ortlieb used to sell if you want to have maps on the front. And this new design does not have that. Instead, they have these little lanyards, which I'm not even sure how they're supposed to work. Because I don't use old-fashioned maps when I'm navigating. I use a computer instead. So anyways, there's the difference there. So I'll just put these down for a second. Over here, this is the Sport-Packer Plus Pannier. This is the smaller of the two panniers. This is the pannier that would go on the front of your bicycle, on the front rack. And this is the same model on the old set. As you can see, there's a difference not only in color, but there's this pocket that used to appear on the older model, this mesh pocket that you could put like your wet socks in, for example, and have them dry. You could use it to store other little items and stuff. I rarely ever used these outside pockets. The main way that I used them was for putting small amounts of trash in here. And then, like if I would eat a bag of chips, for example, I would put the bag into this pocket, and then the next time I found a trash can, I could easily just unzip the pocket, grab the trash out, and throw it into the trash. And then that was how I used these zipper pockets. They aren't on the new model, which I think is fine. For the amount of fabric that they use, the weight that this takes up, I think it's good that they got rid of it. So that's good. Pretty basic design on the outside. It's basically a big bucket style bag. Two clips here that allow you to get easily in and out of the bag. On the back is the mounting system, which has remained almost exactly the same. In fact, I think it is exactly the same practically. There are some minor differences that I'll point out. This is basically the same. You'll see on the old style, there's a bottom and a top attachment option, and this one only has a single attachment option, which I have. I think it does limit the amount of places that you can put this, but so far I haven't found that to be a problem. So that's good. And then here's the mounts up at the top, and just like the old design, you can unclip this and move this around depending on where you need to mount the bag on your bicycle, on the rack of your bicycle. So same here, like this just pops open, and then you can move it over if you need to, and then pops right back into place. The clips here, it's kind of hard to see, but the clips here that attach to your rack are still very much the same. All you have to do to attach the bag to your bike is lift up on this handle, and the bags will kind of, these locks open up, and then you place the pannier on your rack and let go, and it locks into place. So that's kind of the same for these bags. The other major difference on the back that's worth pointing out is that this old bag just had this fabric strap, and this strap would occasionally go into the wheel, and which wasn't dangerous or anything, but it would hit the wheel and it would start to make this little sound, right? And so when that would happen, I'd have to like manually tuck this little thing down kind of behind the rack that was right here. And it wasn't a big deal. I mean, all you did every time you put the bag on was put this down behind the rack. This new design, however, has this little rubber thing on the handle, which prevents this from going into the wheel. It just can't reach over that far. It hits the rack, and then it doesn't go in. So that's a great improvement right there. On the bottom, there's these two little protectors, pegs or whatever, that are not featured on the old model, as you can see. This is just to help prevent the bottom of the bag from getting any wear on it. I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but maybe it'll make some people feel better about the protection that they're getting on the bottom of their bags. And overall, this is a shoulder strap attachment, so that you can attach a strap here and then carry this whole bag, there's another one on this side, over your shoulder, which makes carrying the pannier off the bicycle a whole lot easier. I never do that though, and so frankly I wish I could remove this, because it's a tiny little bit of extra weight that I won't ever use, and I am going to have to carry around with me now. So frankly, I don't really like that. It would be good if I could remove this. So anyways, another common question that I get is like, why have I chosen to use these bucket style panniers? Ortlieb makes two main styles of panniers. There's a roll top pannier, which you roll up and then kind of clip on the sides. And there's this one, which is more of a bucket style pannier, where there's a lid at the top that then opens like this. And you can then kind of just open your pannier and get everything that's inside. And so I'm always asked, like, why do you prefer this bucket style over the roll top? And the reason I do prefer this one is because the roll top design is a like 100% waterproof design. If you were to drop that pannier in a river, for example, that bag would be almost completely waterproof, 100% waterproof. This design, however, is not 100% waterproof. It's only waterproof really from rain and snow and things like that that are coming from above, and then the water just washes down the bag. The difference, however, is that I feel like these lid style, bucket style panniers are a whole lot easier to get into than the roll tops. And because of that, because you're getting in and out of your bags on a daily basis, over and over and over again, I like the roll tops just because they're easier to get into than I like the bucket style because they're easier to get into than the roll tops. Alright, finally we have the Biker-Packer Plus Pannier. This is the rear pannier. Let me move this over here just so you can see it better. This is the rear pannier that you put on the back end of your bicycle, and as you can see, compared to the old version of the bag, there are some differences. They've gotten rid of this mesh pocket on the front, which, like I said, I use for almost nothing, and they've added another external pocket, which frankly is a little bit bigger. I think if I had to choose between this pocket or this pocket, I would choose the old pocket. But I haven't used this on the road a whole lot yet, so don't judge me on that quite yet. Inside here, this is kind of how you open it. There's a little ribbon here, like a waterproof ribbon, and you just kind of fold the fabric over that ribbon in order to close the pocket. There's no zipper or anything. So you fold it back, and then the pocket is really tight. There's not really a lot of room to store much of anything in here. At the moment, I'm just storing some spare bike parts, cables, and things like that. That's kind of that external pocket. And you can't take this pocket off, which is another thing I would like them to do in the future. I think if it were up to me, I would probably take the pocket off completely. So there's that pocket, and again, you can kind of adjust it here depending on how much stuff you need to put in that outside pocket. There are two little attachments on the side of each of the new bags that were not there on the old bags, and this is again for the carrying case. If you want to put this pannier over your shoulder, there's the reflective stripe there. It's pretty much the same. On the back, things are very similar to the front pannier that I showed you a second ago. The two rails that were on the old model have now gone down to one. Again, I think that's probably makes the bag cheaper to produce, but it also eliminates some of the options as far as like where you're going to put this mount. But it also makes the pannier a little bit lighter as well, so that's good too. Again, the strap here is improved, which I think is a really good move from Ortlieb, so thank you, Ortlieb. Again, you can move these mounts depending on the type of rack that you have and where you want the pannier to sit on your bicycle. And then finally, the front of the bag is just like the Sport-Packer pannier that I showed you a second ago. There's a bucket style lid that you just open like this in order to get into your gear. So in this pannier I have all my camping gear, for example. And there's my tent. and my sleeping bag. So you can see all of my camp gear fits inside that one pannier. So it's quite large, which is much larger than it looks. And that's it. So thanks for watching. This is the old Ortlieb Biker-Packer and Sport-Packer Plus Panniers with the Ortlieb Ultimate 6 handlebar bag. And this is the new blue, denim blue Ortlieb Biker-Packer and Sport-Packer Plus Panniers with the Ultimate 6 handlebar bag. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to visit the website at bicycletouringpro.com.